Hello everybody, I am Matt, this is Whatcast. So today then we're going to be looking at this guy, Roger Avery his name is. So it was on the Joe Rogan Experience yesterday, day before, something like that. He was talking about conspiracy theories, a lot of them, something that, you know, most people have got a passing interest in. Then they delved into the world of flat earth. And when people start talking about flat earth like it's real and they start using the same old crap that flat earthers spout, it makes me then instantly, they lose credibility with me, with everything else they've ever said, even if I was believing some of it when they were saying it, right? Because flat earth I have actually looked into, and I know that if you do your own research with flat earth, you are not a flat earther. You cannot be if you do proper research, and I will be demonstrating this today. This gets quite heated with Joe Rogan and this guy, because Joe Rogan is not a flat earther. And let's check out and see what happens, what they talk about.
The biggest conspiracy theory that freaks everybody out is flat Earth. Now, I don't know what the Earth is, but experientially, through the testimony of the eyes, it is flat. And there is very little chance that I will ever in my life, or most of us will ever in our life, experience anything other than what is effectively a flat Earth.
That's due to scale. But you could look beyond that and say, well, it looks flat to me, and that be your evidence, or you're going to provide any evidence, let's say.
And the way laser sighting across large bodies of water, or navigation maps for air travel, for pilots, is always a presumption of a flat Earth. It's always in the pilot manuals. No, it isn't. It's simplified in there. It also says of constant mass, which it never is, because it can't be constant mass if you're burning jet fuel the whole fucking journey. And also a rigid aircraft, which no aircraft is rigid. Sit on the wing, sit on a wing seat, look at the wing in mid-flight and tell me that that's rigid. It's not. It's simplifying it. And on maps.
How so?
Well, if you're flying a jet at low altitude, you're not making corrections for curvature, even though you're going fast enough where you should be. And so what's actually happening there? Well,
what's actually happening there is that we live in a pressure gradient because gravity exists. So there is dense, less dense as we go up. They then, the flight dynamics mean that you get to a level of density of pressure that keeps you at a certain altitude. Then with the thrust and everything else, can't remember the whole thing, but that keeps you within that pressure. So you naturally follow the curvature of the Earth, because if you was to not follow the curvature of the Earth and go into space, because of the way the plane is flying and the power and the thrust and everything at that moment, if you go outside, if you go higher than the pressure that you're in, you will instantly drop back down to it again, because it'll have to level off, right? Everything you're using will keep you there. That's the layman's way of saying it. I'm obviously wording it quite badly. You're sitting within a level of pressure that you've arranged the plane to remain in to keep altitude, is the answer.
And so the idea is, look, I don't know what the world is or what the realm that we're in is, but experientially, from my perspective in life, it is nothing but it's a flat Earth.
But what about travel routes? Like, what about when they fly over Antarctica?
They don't fly over.
But you can
Antarctica.
Watch the sun rise and fall.
They don't even fly from Cape down to Buenos Aires.
There's an understanding of the precession of the equinoxes.
They travel up into the other hemisphere and like land in London or something, and then travel back down whenever you're doing a flight across the Atlantic.
Oh, really? Shall we fact check that then, shall we? What's this here? So this is what he just said, Cape Town to Buenos Aires. Now, there are no direct flights from Cape Town to Buenos Aires, so he is correct. Let's make it a bit easier to say. There you can see what I've done there. It's Cape Town to Buenos Aires. It's moved me out of the way here. That's Cape Town. And there's no direct routes because they have hubs. No one, obviously this flight is not needed particularly, so they'll have a stopover somewhere at one of the hubs for the airlines. It's generally not London or whatever he said it was. But for those out there going, oh yeah, that's just an excuse, you're talking rubbish, so he's right then, is he? Direct flights from Sydney, Australia to Santiago would never work on a flat earth. It would be far too far. But I've got better than that. Let's look at this flight. Sao Paulo, Brazil to Cape Town. Right, so one of the places he's asking for. There is the route right there. You can see exactly where they go, where the flight route is, and these are non-stop direct flights. What he said you can't do. They don't exist. Right, there it is. You can go book this yourself now. Nobody's going up into the northern hemisphere to stop over because the Earth's flat. They are going from there to there with the Great Circle route. Right, so there is the first debunk of this utter knob talking about this. Let's get back to him and see what he's got to say next.
And so, like, when you look at it on a flat Earth map, and there are plenty of them.
Satellite photographs of Earth from space.
Those are all cartoons.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying that even the NASA, the guys who actually do those composites, those are composite imagery of, listen, I am not saying that...
but it seems like you're saying that the Earth is possibly flat.
I'm saying experientially.
Right.
From
but
your
that's a scale.
People are such cowards. This bloke is clearly a flat earther and does not want to say that he is because he knows it's ridiculous, but he's kind of getting the idea that Joe ain't that well versed on it, so he's pushing it further because he thinks it's impressive and he wants to see the mouths drop when he drops this information that no one's going to check. So let's continue.
That's a scale issue though.
Correct.
We're a tiny little thing on an enormous thing.
Correct.
But snipers have to calculate for the curvature of the Earth when they shoot.
Only the curvature of the landscape.
Definitely for Coriolis. Chris Kyle, go find the video when he tells you that that's exactly what he did. American sniper.
That they're
right. Why do you think the landscape curves?
The landscape doesn't curve. It is a mountainous and uneven.
Not always.
Uneven,
no. On flat plains, you have to do the same thing.
Well,
if you're making a long shot over a flat area, like if you had to shoot.
Well, then why don't pilots make adjustments?
I'm not a pilot. I don't know.
I've just told you why, and it would be a quick Google search to say that the pilot wouldn't even be aware. They keep altitude, right? That's how that's how flight dynamics work. You find the pressure that you're going to sit within. You make all of the settings to stay within that pressure, and the pressure isn't going to go off that way. It's going to be due to gravity, the same altitude the whole time, and you will naturally follow the curvature. That's why you don't make adjustments. People can go, yeah, right, but that's exactly what it is.
Oh, but I do know that when you look at the film from the space station,
presume a flat Earth.
When you look at the film from the space station, you see an Earth that's not just round but spinning.
I see the space station, the International Space Station is actually not high enough to see curvature, and what you're seeing is
what is he talking about? Absolute drivel is going to pretend that it's a fisheye lens, and that's the only reason it looks like it's curved.
The lens distortion. And
it's not high enough to see curvature when you look out into the horizon.
It's actually even it's very, very close to the.
Let's look at footage from the space station of Earth. So when you see satellite images that are taken of the Earth, you think they're lying? You think there's this grand conspiracy to piece all these pictures together and turn it into a circle instead of having it flat?
All I'm saying is that's the fundamental conspiracy theory that unravels everyone.
Well, it doesn't make any sense because everything that we see in the cosmos that's a planetary body is round, including stars. So it's all round, except for small moons. Everything is round, and that's because
I'm not even certain
that space exists.
That the moon is anything more than a plasma.
The moon is a plasma. I don't need to bring up pictures of the moon. Everyone would have seen people that they know that have taken close-up pictures of the moon with big zooms and seen the shadows in the craters on the moon. If it was a self-lit piece of plasma, you ain't getting shadows on the surface of the moon. Drivel, absolute bollocks.
Plasma.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
that it's a plasma effect, a lenticular effect of some kind.
So that it's not a real thing, but it affects the tides. It is something that we have landed, at the very least, we've landed probes on.
We don't know that it affects the tides. People theorize
so this is
that it affects the tides.
Footage from the space station. This is live footage from the space station.
And I'm saying that's lens curvature, and that what you're actually seeing.
Why do you think that's lens curvature?
And that what you're seeing is horizon.
So what you're talking about is like a fisheye.
What you're seeing is horizon. Oh, really? What's that black there behind it then? Horizon of what? Is he trying to suggest that this is just a flat horizon that's lens curvature? Let's see what he says about lens curvature.
To provoke you, that's what I'm saying.
Right, but let's not do that right now, because I don't want you to be completely fucking insane. Because this is a round body, just like the moon, just like Mars, just like Jupiter, just like Uranus.
That appears to be but in your practical life experience, you have to accept a certain amount of faith. Is what I'm getting at any moment.
But they understand the precession of the equinoxes. Okay, do you know that the precession of the equinoxes is how they measure the sky over a period of 26,000 years?
I see right there a little stitching, like right there.
So this would just keep going straight forever?
Do you see that line?
Yeah,
do you see that line right there? What is that?
What is that line?
Yeah, what is that line? Well, that looks like stitching to me. It looks like they've stitched together, and it crosses over there through that mountain range.
Oh, so it's not a flat horizon that's distorted by the camera. It's a stitching now. So he knows it ain't real, but he doesn't know why it's not real. So I actually looked this up because, you should if you're interested in doing this, right? So let's see what it says. The lines you see on the International Space Station ISS live feed typically fall into three categories: graphical trackers, technical radiation damage, or orbital phenomena. Then it explains what they are. Graphical traffic lines on many official NASA trackers and third-party streams like ISS Live. Now the lines are intentional overlays to show the station's path. There you go. White lines represent the future orbit, usually the next 1.5 hours. Yellow line represents past orbit in the previous 1.5 hours. Wavy shape, the lines appear as a sign. Is it wave? Because a circular orbit is being projected onto a flat 2D map. The path stages or staggers or shifts westward each time because the Earth rotates underneath the ISS during its 90-minute orbit. Digital, static, or strict. So then it explains what they are. I mean, reading all of this out, if you are a flat earther, you're going to dismiss all of this anyway, so it's kind of a waste of my time. But people with an actual thinking, functioning brain could just go look this up themselves and read it, and it tells you all of the things it could possibly be, rather than firstly it's fake, and that's a fisheye lens, followed by they've stitched it together. It's not anything, it's composite. So let's get back and see what else he's got to say.
Right there.
That is weird, whatever that is. But
so by your very example, I'm just saying that you have to have a certain amount of faith in that. And on the surface, mundus vult decipi.
Well, okay. You're freaking me out. Go back to that, Jamie. So what is the explanation?
Because you haven't looked into it at all, to be fair. If you looked into it for like one night, it wouldn't be freaking you out. These people are idiots.
Go back a little bit.
Yeah, what is the explanation of that line right there?
I don't know.
Right, but how weird is that? That is weird that there's this line.
Right, because that in itself is a composite image, a cartoon that has been put together for you to look at this.
Oh, not a fisheye lens anymore then. So you quickly changed your mind. All you know is definitely not real.
This apparent live imagery that is being taken.
And is this multiple images that are supposedly pieced together? Is that what they're...
I'm saying that things fall into, like, the way perspective works is that things appear to fall into the horizon. But now use what is that camera? Is it a P200 camera where you can actually zoom in?
He can't even get the ridiculous meme that is the P900 or P1000 number correct. P200. So the P200, according to this bell end, brings everything back from the horizon.
And lift things out of the horizon that have appeared to fall into the horizon.
Oh, really? Let's have a look at that claim, shall we? This is your P1000. And this is it's a bit better. Let's have a look to see, to watch it bring things back over the horizon like this bloke claims. There you go. You can see there is 2 ships. One is there and the other one is just to the left there. You can see just where I am, and there it is. So he's zoomed in quite a long way. It's way below the horizon. He's zoomed in some more, and what do you know? It hasn't brought it back from behind the horizon. So is that sinking? Or is this bloke talking utter bollocks? Because this is the camera that he referenced and it didn't do anything, did it? Let's go back and watch some more drivel from this man that clearly didn't do his own research.
This live video feed from the International Space Station has been
interrupted because you're watching too much.
Due to either a change in the onboard camera configuration or a loss of...
They cut the stream because they knew Joe Rogan was looking at it, even though it wasn't live, so they wouldn't have had any idea.
Signal with the communications network. The video will return when the connection is reestablished. So this is during the live feed?
This isn't from NASA's YouTube channel. It's just down right now.
It's just down right now. Okay, so... You're saying that this is like a fisheye effect of a lens.
Yeah, I'm saying
potentially.
I'm saying that, and that we can even see that whenever they're.
Oh, he's saying that again, though, is he? I thought he was just saying it was stitched together a minute ago. Now he's back to the fisheye lens. He doesn't know what it is. All he knows is they are definitely having us on, and this ain't real.
Up there shooting with cameras outside, you're like, oh, there's the curvature, and then every now and then the camera turns and it inverts for a moment, then it goes back down.
I've never seen that.
I've totally seen that. And this guy's talking about everything that the flat earthers use whenever they show you anything. However, some of us do our own research, and this is not NASA. This is a guy called, let's see what his name is again. I always bloody forget his name. Kip Duridus. Dugirdus. I don't know what his name is. Right, there's his name, the surname there. You can see it yourself. This is not NASA. This is just a bloke that sent up an amateur rocket to 56 miles with a rectilinear lens, not a fisheye lens. And this is what he got. Let's take a look. Oh, look. Bottom of the screen shouldn't be like that. Oh, look. No fisheye. Curvature everywhere on the camera. Top, bottom, and middle. The same. I've shown this to flat earthers and they pretend that's still a flat horizon. That's how dishonest these people are, right? There you go. And it's got you can go watch this video. It's got the whole launch and what it picks up in space. Let's actually, just to be clear here, because I know everybody's that's a flat earth is going to pretend that somehow that was a flat horizon and do the fake laughter of, oh, I can't believe that's your evidence. So let's oh, how do I slow it down? I don't want to speed it up. I want to slow it down. So let's do 1.25. Let's do 2.25. Let's get it into where it is. Let's mute it because that's annoying. And there you can see it's just taking up there. You can see that is you're starting to see the curvature. And you go further in. You can see that is going up the middle. If you're going to tell me that's a flat horizon, then you're lying to yourself. You can see exactly what that is. It then continues on there. Clearly a curve, exactly the curvature that is predicted at that height. This is a rectilinear lens. You can't claim lens distortion, barrel distortion. You can't claim anything. You can just cope with that. And then you can see as it comes in at the bottom, it is the same curvature as it is at the top. You can see. Right. And again. So, everything I ever see does this and up and down and concave, convex. No, just another lie. Let's jump back and see what else he's got to say.
watch a lot of NASA stuff. And listen, I'm not saying that we're not living on a globe, or at least an oblate spheroid.
Oh, yes, you are.
As Neil deGrasse Tyson says. But have you ever noticed how spasticated that guy gets whenever you throw out the word flat Earth? He flips out like the way Robert De Niro flips out on
he flips out. Let's get back to the talks.
But why would it be more likely God if it was flat?
Every culture throughout recorded history draws us in this kind of flat, earthish environment.
That's because they didn't know any better. If you look out the window, you would think it's flat. We're not living on a basketball.
With a dome, a firmament that covers it up until like when the 1930s or
right,
so.
When they start making telescopes.
Right.
I mean, so this is
until the 1930s is another fucking lie.
The grand conspiracy, like Galileo was wrong, Copernicus was wrong. All these people
all
didn't
of
know.
recorded history is wrong, and.
All of recorded history is wrong, says this bloke who doesn't even know that there's direct flights in the southern hemisphere.
I mean, the other option is that we are just specks of nothing floating around in an endless, vast nothing that goes on forever, and that you are completely
So what? What's wrong with that? Sometimes things just happen. You ain't special. Sorry to break it to you. I've just debunked everything, all of your best evidence. But it don't matter to you because you're going to pretend that you're not a flat earther anyway, because that's what the flat earthers always do. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, follow, etc. Join the channel. You can comment, let me know what you think about this. And if you're new to the channel, I do a couple of live streams a week if you want to get involved in that. Cheers, everybody. See you later.